Bananas are delicious. Ask any monkey and they'll agree. But did you know that bananas are radioactive? Slightly more than normal food, at least. And in Hollywood movies, massive exposure to radiation can get you superpowers. In real life, you'll just get cancer, or radiation sickness, or you'll just die horribly. However, let's assume that the world works according to story logic, and if you get enough radiation from bananas, you'd be able to fly or turn invisible or something like that. So, how many bananas would you have to eat to gain superpowers? Let's find out. But first off, a quick science update. What is radioactivity? Basically, you know that model of the atom where you've got a bunch of balls in the center? That's the nucleus. Sometimes, the nucleus will spit out particles for reasons that are way beyond the scope of this video. Electrons might spit out energy particles too, also beyond the scope of this video. Those particles are radiation. In boring real life, this radiation can cause cell damage and cancer. Fortunately, most radiation damage to your body is fixed automatically. However, there is a limit to how much you can handle before things go very wrong. When you get exposed to radiation, that can be measured in something like rads or rems. At around 200 rem, you're in serious trouble. About 500 rem received over a short time will kill about half of people without treatment in 30 days. At 1000 rem, pretty much everyone who isn't a cockroach would die pretty quickly. In our world, at least. But remember, we're in a hypothetical land where radiation makes you a superhero. Now back to bananas. Monkey bars have lots and lots of great potassium. Some potassium is radioactive. So basically, a banana will naturally have slightly more radioactivity than your average fruit. From eating a single banana, you will absorb about 0.01 millirem or 100,000th of a rem of radiation. In contrast, natural radiation exposure is estimated at about 1 millirem per day. So 100 bananas eaten in a 24-hour period would equal the radiation you would receive from just existing. This is actually known as the banana equivalent dose.
Stack banana till the morning come. Daylight come and the one go home.
Radiation at high levels can kill though. Remember, 1000 rem is enough to end pretty much anyone. But back to the banana question. If a single banana has about 100th of a millirem of radiation, it would take about 100,000 bananas in a single day to equal 1 rem. Now, multiply that by 1,000 again to get to 1,000 rem. This means you'd need to eat about 100 million bananas in a day if you wanted to gain superpowers. At least in this hypothetical world where you wouldn't die but become a superhero. Don't worry about causing a banana shortage. Over 8 trillion are produced each year.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me one go home.
So that would only be about 1/10,000th of the total world's supply. Unfortunately, there's some problems. Your body regulates potassium levels fairly tightly, so you don't fully accumulate radiation from bananas like this. Also, your stomach would burst if you tried to eat too many bananas, so don't try this at home. Eating 100 million bananas in a day isn't feasible for most people, but we can dream. If you could get banana-related superpowers, let us know in the comments what they'd be. Also, smash that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
何かにまろ何かのちたババババナナ